Hi guys, okay, in this video I'm going to be teaching you how to make a simple double crochet newborn beanie. That's in US terminology. In UK terminology that would be a simple treble newborn beanie, so that's a TR stitch, but for the sake of this video I'm going to be referring to all the stitches in US terminology, so that's double crochet. Okay, first things first, first of all we're going to be using a chunky yarn or bulky yarn. Not to be confused with super chunky or super bulky. This is just a standard bulky chunky yarn, which is the one up from worsted weight or Aran yarn. So, and I'm also going to be using a 4mm G hook. Okay, so what I've done here is made a very quick simple block, did some chains, and then I worked some double crochet stitches along my chains, and the reason for that is I need to work out how many double crochet stitches there are per inch. So get your tape measure, and you can see as per this pattern, this sample, that there are 4 double crochet stitches that fit into this 1 inch. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we know that using this yarn and this hook we make 4 double crochet stitches to 1 inch. And the reason we want to know that is because it helps us find out our final hat size. We're going to be making a newborn beanie, and the sort of average diameter of a finished newborn beanie is about 12 inches. So if I bring in my little worksheet, which I work out before I even start making anything, so we've got our 12 inches diameter, which is what we're looking to make for an average newborn beanie, so a simple double crochet beanie. We're looking to make about 6 inches in length of the hat. You can find all these measurements actually on my Facebook page, which I'll link to in the bottom, with some information on different hat sizes for anything up to adults, men's hats, so go check it out. So we're using a chunky or bulky yarn and a 4mm hook. So what we need to, the reason we want to work out our 4 stitches per inch, which let's write that on here, 4 stitches to 1 inch, is it helps. What we need to, it's a simple sum. Basically your final stitch count is divided by how many stitches you have in an inch, and that answer, that sum, needs to match up with the diameter we're looking for. So I worked out that if we keep increasing nice and neatly until we get 48 stitches in our final stitch count, if we divide that by 4, it equals 12 exactly. Actually, it doesn't have to be exact, it can be over or under or whatever. It gives us a guide to work to. It doesn't have to be 100% accurate, it just gives us a little indication of how many increases we need to do. So I've worked out a little pattern then to get up to 48. Well, basically what I did is rather than just like work out an exact, it just happened to be an exact sum, but I just basically kept increasing, so 6, 12, and then 24, 36, 48, simple multiplication, and then you just keep going to get the number that matches nearest to the diameter you're looking for, and it just so happens to be a nice round 48. So we're going to start off with 6 single crochet into a magic circle, and then we're going to be working a chain 2, 1 double crochet in the same stitch, so that's technically an increase, and then 2 double crochet in each stitch around to double our stitch count. So let's do that. Okay, so then I've already created a video on how to do a magic ring, so I'll also link to that in the description. So I'm going to work through this fairly quickly, but hopefully you can still follow. So we go under and over, pull our yarn through to create our first, what I call a dummy stitch. And the reason I do this dummy stitch, which I don't count as a stitch, is because when we complete our ring and slip stitch to join, this stitch can be very difficult to find, so I use this as a dummy stitch and then work my 6 single crochet, so we don't have to hunt around for this, and you'll see that coming into effect in a minute. So let's work our 6 single crochet. So we go through our ring, pull a yarn through and up, yarn over, and pull through both loops. So yarn through, making sure that all our stitches stay down that side, so don't get tangled. Pull a yarn up nice and neatly like that, yarn over, and pull through. Let's create 2 single crochet. Yarn through, 3 single crochet. Let's go through, grab your yarn, pull up, use your fingers to hold, grab the yarn through, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 2, 4, 6. And now we get our tail yarn, pull to tighten, da, 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 da. Flatten it down, and untwist. Just pull any remainder hole shut. And now we're going to, now you can see that stitch is all small and quite difficult to find, but because that's our dummy stitch, we can go straight into this nice clear stitch there. So we put our hook through. So you want to go over this first. Let's do a slip stitch. Go through over the first one, like so, and then you want to go over that second one there. So you've got 2 pieces of yarn over the hook. Grab a yarn, pull through, and then pull straight through your loop to complete your slip stitch. And there we have our first 6 single crochet in our magic circle. Okay, now we want to chain 2. So we go back to our little pattern here. Now we want to chain 2 and work 1 double crochet in the same stitch. So that's an increase, and then I'll 2 double crochet in each stitch around to get 12. So let's do that. So let's chain 2. 1, 2. Now to work the same, working in double crochet now, not single crochet. So we're going to work 1 double crochet into the same stitch. It's basically the same gap that you worked your slip stitch to join your round. So yarn over to start your double crochet. Go through here. So it's exactly the same stitch that you made your slip stitch into to join your round. Pull your yarn through. Yarn over, you pull through 2 loops. 2 loops left. Yarn over, pull through the last loop. Okay, so those 2 chains count as a double crochet, and we've worked 1 double crochet into the same stitch, or same below the 2 chains, and it's just the same stitch you did your slip stitch on the previous round. And now we're going to work 2 double crochet in each stitch around. So you do yarn over, go through your stitch, and when I say go through your stitch, you want to go through that bit of yarn there and that one there. So you've got just 2 pieces of yarn on your hook, like that, and then grab your yarn, pull through. So you've got 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now we're going to do another one in the same stitch. So yarn over, go back through the same stitch, grab your yarn and pull it through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay, so that's 2 double crochet in the next stitch. So these are increases. Now I'm going to speed up a little bit just to complete it round, doing 2 double crochet in each stitch around. Okay. Okay, so now we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 stitches. Okay, so we've doubled our stitch count from the previous round. Now what we're going to do is we need to join our round now, so what you've got to look for is your 2 stitches there, and you're going to slip stitch into the top of the 2 chains, so it's in your second chain. So what you want to do is you want to hook the first bit of yarn, just that little loop of yarn onto your hook, like so, and then you want to find the second piece of yarn. You can see I'm trying to show you like so. So you want to make sure you've got a little bit of yarn underneath your hook as well, you see. So you've just got the 2 pieces of yarn, and you're going to pull your yarn through there, like so. Oops. Okay, and then straight through your other loop, slip stitch to join. I'll show you on the next round as well. Okay, now we're going to work our next round, which is I'm going to chain 2 again. We're going to do a 1 double crochet in the same stitch again, and 2 double crochet in each stitch around. So it's exactly the same as we did on round 2. Now sometimes you would go straight to just doing basically 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, but because this is quite a thick yarn, I actually double up again to go straight up to 24, and the reason for that, it makes it flatter, otherwise it starts to curve in a bit. It's a bit needs a little bit more increasing going on. So we're now going to work exactly the same again that we did before to get 24 stitches. Okay, so we're going to chain 2, 1, 2. I'm going to do 1 double crochet into the same stitch, just to go through the same stitch as our slip stitch. Be a bit fiddly. Once you get these rounds out of the way, you don't have to worry about doing this. There we go. Okay, so you can see we've gone through, well, it's quite difficult to see actually, but it's basically exactly the same stitch as where the slip stitch is to join. So there we go, we've got our first increase, and now we're going to do 2 double crochet in each stitch around.